So your intellectual life is divided into two different parts, before and after you embrace mental models. They're really that powerful. And if you've never seriously looked into mental models, then you're going to notice a clear difference in your own life after watching this video. It's going to be obvious. And at the very end of this video, you'll learn how to take this theory and actually apply it into your life. So mental models are frameworks for reasoning. It's kind of like the goose and the golden egg. If you learn a piece of advice, then you're given a golden egg, and that's great. But if you learn a mental model, you've been given a goose that consistently lays golden eggs. And whenever you're faced with a decision, a complex decision, with mental models, you have a far greater likelihood of making the correct decision. And the quality of those decisions will determine your life. When you repeatedly make good decisions, you receive compounding results. And so few people manage to override their biology and think in the best terms of mental models. But those who do, we're talking about Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, and Warren Buffett, they were able to transcend how most of us make decisions. When you combine these cutting modern mental models with ancient Greek philosophy like the philosophy of Stoicism, then magic happens. So in the next couple of minutes, you're going to learn the mental models that these ancient philosophers used to use, and then you're going to learn how to integrate them into your own brain. So the first mental model, we've got a lattice work of systems. So a system is basically anything with multiple parts that all depend on each other. And models are simplified representations of reality. If you look at a map, it's a simplified representation of the landscape. And a mental model is a simplification of complex systems. And good mental models let you navigate these complex systems to ultimately achieve your goals. And Stoicism teaches that everything is interconnected through cause and effect chains. The world continually pushes forwards, and the universe is just one big system made up of many smaller parts. And fate appears through the cause-effect relationships of this system. And free will is the understanding that your mind is the cause of some of the effects. Naval said that, "I cannot say your name without invoking the entire universe." Well, what's a human? It's a bipedal ape. And what's an ape? Well, it's on Earth. And what's a planet? Solar system. And where was the carbon made? Inside the stars. I have to create the entire universe to say your name. In this way, everything is connected. So you should accept and seek to understand this lattice work of systems that occupy the universe. And this is the very first mental model. The universe is a lattice work of systems. And this mental model will give you two incredible benefits. First of all, you can study one system and understand a completely different system. And second of all, you should love the universe because you are an effect of it. Even if it annoys you, you must regard it simply as an annoying sibling that you love anyway. Your free will can change that system, and Stoics recognized your mind as a principal cause. You are simultaneously insignificant in the system, but yet you're able to affect it. The second mental model is the dichotomy of control. So my friend was recently shot in the eye with a nerve bullet. And when this happened, he dropped to the floor and he was panicking. We were all panicking. You could tell in his mind that thoughts were racing in his head as he was going to the hospital. He couldn't see anything. His tranquility was completely vanished and anxiety was plaguing him. You could just see it. But he mentioned and he kept saying that there was two options for him to take. Number one, he was either going to lose his vision, or number two, his vision would return to normal. And he kept saying that he felt like Stoicism was pulling him to the realization that he couldn't control the fact whether he would go blind or not, but he could control whether he was going to be a good patient in the hospital, and that would increase his likelihood of success. And I could see in his mind this switch that would go on from complete and utter panic to just tranquility as he started to accept the fact that he couldn't control it and he was regarding it with indifference. And that gap between fear and what we call hope, that's what anxiety is. The next mental model is about Stoic perception. This is the final mental model. You see, humans are predictive animals. We're constantly trying to estimate where the future is going to go, where if I throw a ball at you, in milliseconds, you have just a split second of time to try and predict where that ball's going to go in order for you to catch it. And the exact same thing is true with these cause and effect chains of the universe. So much of human suffering comes from the tendency to try and extrapolate these chains of cause and effect and draw conclusions. And I believe that the Buddhists teach to be present. And what that means is don't try and create these predictive chains. Don't try and extrapolate the future. Only take these cause and effect chains as they arrive. Whereas the Stoics believe that extrapolating is fine as long as you carefully manage the perception of the events in the prediction and the addiction itself. For example, imagine going up on stage and speaking with 10, 15,000 different people. Immediately, your brain's going to start to make predictions. Say you predict that you're booed off of stage and everyone hates you. In your head, this is a dark chain. But Stoicism teaches you that the effect you feel in your head, the emotion of embarrassment, it's a choice. And if you reframe the event and seeing as the booing for, an opportunity for improvement, then the event is not negative and the emotion will completely subside. And if you do this, almost all emotion is stripped away from this complex system, and you can start to think and make decisions clearly. Stoicism teaches that it is not the chain that is dark, it is your perspective of it. The universe doesn't have dark chains of cause and effect, only simply chains of cause and effect. It does not throw them at you, they just happen and they are what they are. And you as a listener right now, you're special in that the causes that you are free to add to the chain can be good or bad. So how can you implement these abstract ideas? Well, how do we override our biology and integrate these things into our thinking? Well, the Stoics provide an answer for that as well. And that is, every time you encounter this complex decision making, you've got to apply these mental models consciously. Write them down on a deck of cards, and whenever faced with a complex decision, flick through these mental models and apply them to this decision. That's how you get benefit from them. This is why Stoicism advocates repetition. They say, do your reps. And that's how you take these abstract concepts, apply them into your life, and start to view the world in a different way. A way that actually benefits you and benefits the people around you. If you've enjoyed this video, then make sure you click the like button. And if you're new around here, then subscribe. If you made it to the end of the video, drop feedback down in the comments below. We read every single one, and we really appreciate you for getting to the end of the video, and I'll see you in the next one.